One big problem lo yumi now emosem yumi got plenty barriers to mas. Line lo islands thinking also Miblo Islands, line lo numbers thinking Miblo numbers, line lo New Guinea Islands na mama say thinking lo desla me also Miblo desla church, Miblo desla group, Miblo desla party, Miblo desla too much division in this country. And this division sometimes I'm good, but plenty times too I'm bagrap yumi. Because you may not thinking of some human beings, creation of God. God and bless him, you mean one black country. Give me resources to build in this country, come up, great country. You may allow him this division here, bagrap him, you mean, spoil him, you mean, emi bagrap him opportunity, you mean, realize him this blessing of God.
Tok Pisin Language, rule of law, Christian religion, sports, equal distribution of wealth, and of course marriage play a key role in upholding national unity in Papua New Guinea. Let's take a look at how marriage is breaking cultural and territorial barriers, cementing national unity to new heights. With the world widely being divided, national unity becomes everybody's wish. One pillar of national unity that has stood tall is interregional marriage in the country, something which our forefathers never thought about. During their time, marriage was limited to clans, neighboring villages, and within district and provincial boundaries. In the past, unions of couples were pre-arranged by parents or elders within the communities. Today, migration, education, mobile phone technology, and social media platforms have broken marital barriers, enabling regional marriages within the country. Bride price is a long-time marriage tradition which has been passed on from generations to generations. We were invited to cover an interregional marriage between a Juaka-led Stanley Kur and a Central's Aroma girl, Kensen Robert. Interestingly, this bond between the two was a culmination of just being neighbors at NCC in Port Moresby, then friends, and finally them tying the knot in 2020. After 3 years of being together, the groom was obliged to respect his partner and to erase the cultural shame on himself and his family through traditional bride price. Speaking during the occasion with a clear perspective about the country's future, NCD Governor Powers Parkop says Papua New Guinea will become a much better nation when its citizens uphold gender equality and empowerment.
Time will change. Change in on come up, nothing. Change by come up, suppose you me disturb him, you me. You sit down, you stop. No, when I'm got comfort zone by you not have change, especially you me old man. So me also me got privilege and opportunity in start of parliament. Me must disturb him, you me. So me disturb him, you me talk yeah, me talk strong long. You me get aya. Time you me sense him, I got respect long man and Mary. Or plenty heavy long, Papua New Guinea by finish. Because plenty heavy he come up because of not got respect, not got value, not got good look save. Now look save na values is stop and guide him you me. And by country run good. Because leaders by behind him good la value, good la passing, good la thinking, good la plan. Now you know that just la look save or values and by you me walking that in nothing na country by put down. So and big plus something where me like advocate him or talk.
The 48-year journey of Papua New Guinea has prominently been featuring men and boys only in its narratives and all walks of life. Governor Parkop who is the chairman for the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, says in order for the change to happen, comfort zones must be disturbed with increased advocacy and actions. He continued that most of the peaceful countries around the world are driven by respect and other good values. Commending the couples, Parker vows that the groom has grown in values and being independent as a young person. He is a model and an inspiration. Our ancestors would invest in relationships during their time. Family units form the foundation for better nation of Papua New Guinea. Family is where good values and well behaviors are taught before children face the world that is full of troubles. Governor Parkop says Stanley has been a living testament because he has manifested value system that Governor Parkop advocates for.
Me look him Stanley, grow na, mature na, understand him something na. More importantly, grow also, come up also independent.
Governor Parkop observes that bride price tradition must continue despite Western cultural influences in the country. Governor Parkop welcomes and blesses the marriage because it bridges two diverse regions in the country. He further states that PNG are a country which is united in diversity with 1,000 tribes, dances, songs, languages, and cultures can become a fine example and inspiration to the entire world. Papua New Guinea can become an inspiration, contributing to world peace and unity if we get our backyards clean with Cha-Cha marital gesture. After a bride price event in Port Moresby at the groom's Guerrero residence, the groom felt obliged to seal the bride price payment back home before his relatives and Kuli tribesmen of South Wagi district in Juaka province. The groom Stanley Kur, after graduating from the University of Papua New Guinea, he first worked with a project initiated by NCD Governor Powers Parkop. He was groomed and trained by the governor himself. The groom is like a son to Governor Parkop. Thus, Governor Parkop made a commitment to be with him until the marital obligation ceremony here in Port Moresby and in Juaka was done and dusted. I was on board a Port Moresby to Mount Hagen flight with Governor Parkop, Powers Parkop, and other expatriates at the eve of Christmas. The experts were invited by Governor Parkop to be his guests in return for their services to the city in different capacities. As we arrived, we hopped on hired land cruises with our cargoes at the Kagamuga airport. Governor Parkop footed the cost from his own pocket because it was a personal trip. We overnighted at a lodge in Mount Hagen. Next morning, we drove our land cruisers down to Juaka province along the scenic Highlands Highway and then onto the Ketapun ceremonial ground or Houseman. Numerous welcome receptions were accorded to us along the way. The people are friendly, peace-loving, and receptive. We finally set foot on the groom Stanley Kur's houseman. The celebrations continued with welcome speeches before the actual bride price ceremony.
Today, whether we find nature and the honoring, this block gathering will be a year of fully handling Chihuahua. Today, evening and looking for some important man or senior statesman of the country where you may have been here today. Today, this time, and we gonna learn history of people, Chihuahua, fully tribe, it's a Chihuahua. And we have a high-profile governor, and the most capable governor of this country among other governors. And hard-working governor of Papua New Guinea among other governors.
Ini yang invite me to you to the cup. Me a Muslim me cup. In fact, you to also and we can look online lobby. So a special thank you, Governor Honorable Passport. You find one and one important man, no country. And probably someone of the you compare with another governor by the time of one Maroto. You start testimony techniques. Now we got one businessman, one successful politician here, so I'm not going to tell you. Every other party you need. Some of the governor also agreed on it. Also think on that. Slaman and Mosque, Papua New Guinea, you majority islands and Luatimo.
A local member of parliament for fellow North Wagi electorate, Benjamin Moole, was also present to welcome us and participated in the bride price payment. As the Highlands economy thrives, tribal benchmarks are sought after in bride price payments, mokas, funerals, and other cultural norms. The bride price contribution saw a total of 120,000 kina, 39 pigs, 1 cow, 3 goats, and garden food. In the groom's culture, the groom shares part of the total bride price in cash, animals, and garden food back to those who contributed in cash and kind. That included his mother's tribe, father's side, and friends, including us. Before the bride is given the target share of the bride price, For contribution amongst the bride's family and relatives, the groom also distributes portions of the pay to the bride's parents, uncles, siblings, and other members of the family. Finally, 75,000 kina cash was handed over to the bride.
75,000. And kasih sebelumnya bisa lagi macam. Long give him lo family and then long outside or something like that come. And give him lo packet now lihat section lig macam so. Now I'm lo family me give to 25,000. Nah 75,000 me kat lo bill him. So one block action.
The bride price took place at two locations, in Port Moresby and Juaka province, and was finally concluded at Haroma's Pelagai village in Abao district of Central Province. Mr. Kur and his family made the final leg with the transportation of 100 bags of rice, 50 bags of 10 kg flour bags, 10 sugar bales, and 10 bags of tea bags.